All right, Tom gave me the high sign. Well, good evening. I am Gary, Gary Wise, Whiskey 4 Echo Echo Yankee, and tonight is an anniversary for me. Is Jimmy Shaver here? I didn't see him. Well, okay, you can blame Jimmy, because it was Jimmy that invited me to come to this club about 5 years ago. Actually, almost exactly 5 years ago. I had been I had been a licensed amateur radio operator since 1985, but not super active in my job with the Voice of America. I was active overseas as DX, but when I came back to the United States and retired in 2008, I wasn't real active. But being here and coming to this club, it really renewed my interest and invigorated me to get going again. And I know it was 5 years ago because I remember when I came to my first meeting, Dave Anderson was enthusiastically talking about this thing called W4DXCC. And I didn't know what that was, but I listened, and he was emphatic. You have to go. Okay, I'll go. At that point in time, I wasn't chasing DX. I wasn't contesting, really, although I'd done some of that in the past. So my DX country count was 0. Well, 5 years later, it's a little higher, about 195 at the moment, with a few pending. And I have learned so much from this group and the people in this room. And so I just want to thank you all for bringing a wayward child into your midst and bringing me along the ways of good DX and fast contesting. Thank you. So what we're going to talk about tonight is the CQ Worldwide VHF Contest, which is something that Matt and I participated in. I'd been in one VHF contest a couple of years ago, only operated on 6 meters, but had a lot of fun with it. And so the word for tonight, though, that I want you to learn is this: synergy. Repeat after me. Synergy. All right, we'll talk about it more in here in a second. So in becoming a rover station, Matt and I decided we were going to go rove the area and make contacts available for people. Well, how did it get started? Blame Dave Ivey. Because Dave was the chair of the field day committee for this group, and I promised him a VHF UHF station for field day, because that was something we didn't do in the previous years. The only problem was I didn't have an antenna, I didn't have a radio, I didn't have a mast, anything for VHF. So it kind of motivated me to get my act together, to put together a VHF UHF station for our field day activities. And so the mast was relatively easy. I saw at the MFJ booth at Hamcation in Orlando that they had this mast, which is rated for, I think, about 18 feet, except the top section is so flimsy that unless you're just supporting a wire, it's not really good for larger antennas. So it's about 15 feet tall in the configuration we have here, the MFJ 1919. So got the mast. Okay, we're good for field day. The radio, Dennis Terry, a ham in the area, was selling an FT 991A. I first saw it down in Greenwood, but it didn't sell. Then he took it to another hamfest, and it didn't sell. And so finally, I contacted him about 8 months later. I said, "You still have that radio?" "Yeah." "Oh, you want to sell it?" "Yeah." So we got the 991A. And the antennas, Howard's not here tonight. Didn't see him either. But we had Howard's big 3-element 6-meter Yagi for field day. Although here on the mast, what you're seeing are 2 elements on 6 meters and 6 elements, 6 elements on 2 meters, 2 elements on 6 meters. That's what we used for our endeavors. What was the word for tonight? Synergy. So this is the definition of synergy. It's a big, long, making some of the parts and blah, blah, blah. I had a boss when I worked for the Dow Corning Corporation. And Bob Bott was my boss, and he said, "We got to make stuff do more than one thing. Synergy is making the work you do accomplish more than just one task." So the work that I did for the VHF UHF station for field day was, something that I was going to do again for the VHF contest. And also, Matt and I, we discovered that working together, we could accomplish a lot more than either of us just working separately from one another. So, synergy at work. I'm very inspired by all of the members in this group, but I want to call out one person who is really doing a fantastic job in activating mountaintops. And if you haven't been to Ariel's website, Ariel Jacala, who's back there someplace, there he is, and fantastic job, guy, in putting summits on the air. And so really inspired by that, but I have a problem. I'm not a hiker. So I'm not going to hike. So the VHF contest, driving to the mountaintop, that had appeal for me. So the CQ Worldwide VHF Contest, July 20th and 21st of this year. They have a website online, so you can go take a look. And the first thought I had was, well, okay, I've got all the equipment now. I'll just pile it in the truck, and we'll take it out there, and we'll set up the mast, and we'll set up the antennas, and we'll set up the canopy, and tables and chairs, and just be another field day operation. But, of course, I can't leave things well enough alone. And I thought, what if that mast that I got, what if I put it on the back of the truck? It would fit up there, okay, but of course it's going to flop around. Well, okay, Rod, you wanted to know what that piece of aluminum was in the back of the Avalanche. That's to secure the mast in place so that we could actually have it there. I actually had some guying also that guided into the truck. And so that we could actually we didn't drive, of course, with the antennas up, but we could get to a certain location and just put the antennas up, get them in the air, and away we go. So that would help with setup. So this is how I thought we were going to do it. I have a canopy. We'll put it at the back of the truck, and we'll use the mast, and we'll be all set. Until another inspiration came along. Matt says, oh, look at this from my friend in Germany. That. He made a custom installation in the front of a vehicle. And look at the wood, how it's contoured to the dash in the front. And so, he had the radio and the logging computer, and I thought, well, we could do something like that. So I tried this effort first in the back seat of the Avalanche. It's 2/3, 1/3. So on the longest distance, I folded the seat down and put in a little table in there. But ergonomically, I'm right-handed. Matt's right-handed. You'd have to twist over to tune the radios. After I put it together, I said, no, that's not going to work. But if you go to the other side and put a table in there, hey, now that has the start of something good. And then, if I put a little laptop stand in the middle, well, hey, we've got a station that's ready to go. And so that's what we did. This is the setup that we used in the Avalanche for the radio, the power supply, computer, etc. And I painted it. I don't know why. I probably should have left it natural, but painted it anyway. And on the back of the Avalanche, just in case it rained or there was anything going on, I didn't want to cut a hole in the expensive and hard-to-find plastic panel back there, so I made up a wooden panel to go in the middle position just to try to keep some of the debris and rain out and make it a little bit more secure. We were powered by Harbor Freight. Anybody priced generators recently? Was very impressed by the Honda generators, but they're over $1,000. And so I took a look, and they look the same. I figure they're made in this one factory in China someplace, and Honda gets the best ones, and Harbor Freight gets the B stock or whatever. But anyway, bought the little 1,600 watt Harbor Freight generator, not for $1,000, but with a coupon for $449. It worked great. Very reliable, just sipped gasoline. We didn't really have to refill once out in the field. and was very reliable. Now, we do want to make some noise measurements on RF noise, but as far as being at a location and disturbing the environment, no problem whatsoever. It was acoustically very quiet. So, where are we going to go? And at one of these earlier meetings, you might remember I was talking with some people looking for high ground in the Greenville area. Well, we finally decided that we were going to go out and do some reconnoitering. So let's see if I can play just a little bit here of some video. I went out with my wife, and we went to 6 different locations and shot these little brief videos. So this is the one we did for Paris Mountain State Park, where we had the longitude and latitude, the Maidenhead coordinates, and then looking in various different directions. So this is a parking lot as you drive into Paris Mountain State Park and just keep going. And you go to the end, and this parking lot is at the end, and it's up at a point about 1,700 feet above sea level. There's no dramatic views of downtown Greenville from the parking lot, but figured it should work and that we would probably have to shoot through some trees, and it was close enough to home that in case anything broke down, we could come back home and fix it and then start again. So we did this for a number of different locations, and ultimately we decided on the Paris Mountain State Park to be our first location on Saturday, and the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Haywood-Jackson Overlook is where we decided to be for our second location. So here in Greenville, Paris Mountain, that was Echo Mike 84 as a Maidenhead locator. In the Haywood-Jackson Overlook, that's Echo Mike 85. So we met the conditions of a Rover station having to go between at least 2 different Maidenhead locations. So what I'd like to show you now is a brief video of some of our operating. If you'd like to see the entire operation, it's up on YouTube on my YouTube channel. We operated for a total of 11 hours, and then it's condensed down. So you don't have to watch all the dead air and whatnot. I kept George, BUW, kept him up till 2 in the morning watching the video. This is 10 minutes, one of the shorter ones. Can everybody hear okay?
November Uniform 4 Echo Rover.
November Uniform 4 Echo, is it?
Roger, and it's Rover. November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover.
Yeah, Roger, Roger. Where are you?
Echo Mike 85.
Ah, great. Thanks for the new grid. It's Fox November 44, FN44.
Roger, Roger. Thanks for the contact today. Yeah, I hope to catch you next time again.
Roger. Very good signal up here into Vermont. 10 over F9.
Well, that's great. We're about 6,000 feet up on the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina. It's just 100 watts and a 2 element.
Oh, doing a great job up here. So keep it up. Thanks. 73.
73 to you. Bye-bye.
You are good.
November 1.
That should be open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are they, everybody?
That's coming up on 2 o'clock, so yeah.
Yeah. Frequency in use. Let's try it. CQ Contest, November United 4 Echo / Rover, November Uniform 4 Echo Rover, November Uniform 4 Echo Rover, CQ.
Uniform 4 Echo / Rover, this is Whiskey Alpha 2, Whiskey Alpha Papa.
Fox Nancy what? I'm so sorry. Whiskey Alpha 2, Whiskey Alpha Papa. Please copy Echo Mike 85. Echo Mike 85, and please your grid again.
Nancy 32, FN 32.
Fox Nancy 32, got you. Thank you so much, 73.
73, good luck.
Bye-bye, thank you. November United 4 Echo / Rover.
Kilo 4, Lima Papa, Quebec.
Kilo 4 Lima, Papa, Quebec. I'm not sure if you called me in CW earlier. Your Echo Mike 85, Echo Mike 85. Yes, much louder right now on SSB. It was hardly above the noise in CW. Thanks for Echo Mike 86. 73 from the Parkway. Bye bye. Thank you. November United 4 Echo / Rover. November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. You hear him?
Okay, he's at the noise. He's rag chewing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's very light. Your signal is not very strong right now. Try your call sign a couple of times. This is November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. QRZ.
Heard a foxtrot.
What do you say?
I heard foxtrot in there.
Yeah, I heard a foxtrot as well. A foxtrot in the call, but we didn't get your rest of the call. Is it kilowatt 4 whiskey, kilowatt foxtrot? I'm sure about the kilowatt 4 and the foxtrot at the end. What is your suffix, or where's your direction that we can turn the antenna? We're in North Carolina in Echo Mike 85. Kilo 4 Whiskey Charlie Foxtrot, kilowatt 4 Whiskey Charlie Fox. Sorry, no copy in the moment. It's in and out in the QSB. I hope to catch you later again. This is November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. Kilowatt Charlie 5 Mike Victor Zulu. Thanks for the call. Echo Mike 85. Delta Mike 93. Thanks for our multiplier. 73s. Bye bye. November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover.
This is Whiskey 4, Papa, Alpha, Yankee.
Doop.
We have him, yeah.
Whiskey
Can you
4,
go to the south?
Papa,
Yep.
Alpha, Yokohama. Yokohama. Whiskey 4, Papa, Alpha, Yokohama. P-A-Y. Can you give me only...
Okay, stop. Zurück. Back. A little bit back.
Could I get your call sign, please? Your call sign?
No. We lost him again.
Papa, Alpha. I did not... Repeat one more time.
Stop.
We'll try one more time, please. I need the last letter, please. Only the last letter.
Yankee, Yankee, Yankee.
Letter is Yankee. 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 Thank you. I got
Yokohama.
Papa Alpha Yankee, but he said that is incorrect. Whiskey 4 Papa Alpha Yankee. I got it. You are unlocked, my friend. No problem. Yourself?
What's your call, please?
6 Echo 6 Mike.
Whiskey 4 Papa Alpha.
November United 4 Echo / Rover.
No, I'm not a Rover. Whiskey 4 Papa Alpha.
Okay, my friend. Whiskey
And I'm
4
at
Papa
Echo
Alpha
Mike.
Yankee. Thank you very much. I got it correctly. No problem, my friend.
Could I get your
November United
info,
4
please?
Echo Stop Rover. 59 Echo Lima 60.
The gentleman I just talked with, could I get your call sign and grid?
My call sign is 6 Echo 6 Mike. 6 Echo 6 Mike. Number 6 Echo number 6 Mike. Number 6 Echo number 6 Mike. Yourself?
November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover.
November uniform 4 Echo stroke Rover. Your 59 Echo Lima 60.
Roger, Roger, you're 59 in Echo Mike 85. Echo Mike 85. Good luck and thank you for a new one.
7373.
Bye-bye.
6 Echo 6 Mexico.
CQ Contest, November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. CQ Contest. 6 Mexico.
Kilo 9 Golf Whiskey Mike.
Again.
Kilo 9 Golf Whiskey Mike.
Kilowatt 9 Golf Whiskey Mexico. Again, please. Echo Mike 69, I believe. I'm not sure. Kilo 9 Golf Whiskey Mexico. Please copy Echo Mike 84. Echo Mike 84.
85.
Sorry, 85. Echo Mike 85.
Roger, you got it.
Okay, thanks for Echo Mike 69 and K9 Golf Whiskey Mexico. Thank you. Good luck, sir.
No. The call is Kilowatt 9, Golf Victor 5.
Victor.
Germany, Victoria, Mexico. And I am in Echo Mike
65.
85. Echo Mike 85. DSL.
Okay, Kilowatt 9 Golf Victoria Mexico and Echo Mike 65. Echo Mike 65 and Golf Victor Mike. Thank you, and you are in Echo. We're on Echo Mike 85. Echo Mike 85.
Roger, we're in Echo Mike 35.
Thank you. 73's good luck. This is November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. November Uniform 4 Echo / Rover. Hi, good evening. I'm Matt, November Uniform 4 Echo. I recently moved to Greenville. I'm from Germany, and I'm so glad I met you all here and Gary to get a little bit active on amateur radio again. So I'll talk about the results. We've been on 2 locations. We decided only to go to 2 locations this time, and our goal was to make 200 QSOs, so 100 each day. It didn't really work out. We had 120 QSOs at the first day, and we thought we had another 80 QSOs on the second day, but after rescoring the program, we had some dupes inside, and we ended up with 192 QSOs on 6 meters and 2 meters combined. We worked overall 6 DXCCs, which means 5 DXCCs out of the US. We got 9 grid fields, and the smaller grid squares, which are the multipliers in the contest, are 101. So as we roved to different locations, the For example, Echo Mike 84 will count twice. So if we work Echo Mike 84 on Saturday and the Echo Mike 84 on Sunday, which we've been into another grid, it will be another multiplier for us. So we didn't work 101 grid squares, different grid squares, but different for our counting inside of the score. Our ODX on 6 meters was roughly 1,600 miles and 255 miles on 2 meters. So there's not much going on here on 2 meters. We have a lot of more activity in Europe. For example, if you're out on a 10 or 12-hour trip in a good location, like I believe we've been to good locations, you can easily do like 300, 400 QSOs on 2 meters. But here a majority was on 6 meters. We had 11 hours total, which divided by 5 hours on Saturday and 6 hours on Sunday. Those are the grids we worked, or the QSOs we did totally on both days. So you see here we had, that's our ODX, it's KP4. Then we had, I think it's Hotel India? And Cuba, Charlie Oscar. We had X-Ray Echo. Of course, we had the US, and we had Canada on both days. Those bold blue circles are 1,000 kilometers, so my software calculates in kilometers. You can easily see that we had 1,000 here, we had 500 more here, another 500, so this is 2,000, and it's a little bit over 2,300 kilometers for the ODX. Gary sent me those videos he recorded. He went to different locations to check out if there's, for example, a bathroom, or how's the location looking like. Do we transmit directly in some stones, or do we have a free takeoff angle? So I looked at some tropo patterns from those locations, and we decided to go to these two locations. What you can see here is the location on the Paris Mountain State Park, looking to the north, to the east, south, and to the west. And the first few miles are very important, so you shouldn't have anything big in the first 10, 15, 20 miles, which is in your line of sight, to have some decent radiation in this direction. Those are the directions from the same QDH to the northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. The location was very good. Southwest was not so good. We had something in our line of sight at the very beginning, but it didn't really interrupted us. So we had a very, very good sporadic E on Saturday. There's W4 VHF, I believe. They were 2 grids north of us, and they worked on 2 meters into Illinois and New York. So they had sporadic E on 2 meters. We couldn't hear it. We heard them doing the QSOs, but we just heard noise on the band. So it didn't reach so far south to us. But anyway, I think the QTH was very good on Saturday. And those are just the grids we worked on Saturday. So even we had something in our line of sight to the southwest, we still made contact to this location. But what you can see is that there's, this is the tropo circle, if I draw it here. And we didn't have any tropospheric QSOs to the southwest. All the QSOs we did in this direction was by sporadic E. Yeah, that's Saturday. We had 121 QSOs. We stayed the majority from our time in SSB. Whenever SSB was okay, we stayed there. After SSB, we tried some CW. We forgot to set up the computer to interface with the radio, so we had to make the CW by hand with a key. And we also did some FT8 and FT4. FT4 just came out a couple of days before the contest. So I think not everybody updated to FT4. And we heard more station in FT8 than in FT4. Even FT4 is much better for the contest. So the QSOs are half the time, and it's twice the fun. We have 3 QSOs on 2 meter only. too bad, there's nothing going on. We even had a 2-meter vertical antenna with us to look on the FM frequencies, but there was nobody to hear. So I think from the Paris Mountain State Park, we should have easily copied down into Greenville, and further on we had a 3-element vertical, a 6-element horizontal on 2 meters, and a 2-element horizontal on 6 meters. Our ODX was 1,297 miles, and on 2 meters it was just 91 miles. That's the W4 VHF, and they were really doing the job. They had a great signal on both days. We worked 1 Mexican station, we worked 11 Canadian stations, and 109 stations from the US just on Saturday. And like I said, it was hard to find frequency on that day. You tuned the band from 125 to 200, and it was hard to find a clear spot without any QRM. So the band was really open, and the signals were very, very strong. This is the next day, it's on Sunday. Gary looked at a few spots on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and we decided to go to the Haywood-Jackson Overlook. It had some great views on Google Maps or Google Earth, and we found that only a little spot over here is happening to the north, and all the rest is really free to all directions. And we saw that visually, and we saw it also, or we will see it now on the chart. Our tropospheric map, our footprint is much wider, much bigger than the one from the Paris Mountain State Park in all directions. We had barely the antenna pointing to the north because we saw that ridge was a couple of maybe 100 feet or 200 feet in front of us, but not all the other directions were perfect. But there was almost no good sporadic E on that day. So each of those QSOs here, they were very, very hard work. We have to dig into the headphones, turn the antenna, and try to find a reflection point to get into some directions we thought it would be. It was okay. And also you see here those QSOs were the furthest QSO we did during the contest. And I think that was SSB, the KP4, and the rest was FT8, I believe. We worked Mexico in twice, I think once in SSB and once in FT8. That's the overview from Sunday, Haywood-Jackson Overlook. It's just 81 QSOs at the end, 71 on 6 meters, and we had some more on 2 meters. And we heard more stations on SSB later that day, but we worked them already on FT8 before. There was no FT4 contacts on 2 meters. Our ODX, like I mentioned before, was 1,581 miles. KP4AJ, I looked him up at QRZ.com because on the rules you just say Fox Kilo 68, so we don't know the Victor Charlie before. And we hand them out Echo Mike 85. But we've been to Echo Mike 85 Mike India, so you can calculate a little bit closer the distances in between. So I recalculated that later and found out 1,581 miles. 2 meters, it was 255 miles. That's pretty good for the 6-element antenna at just 50 watts. So I think that was good for without any tropospheric contacts or sporadic E. Can be enhanced, of course, but it's the first try, and we'll try to do better next time. Overall, on Sunday, we worked 3 times Mexico, 2 times Dominican Republic, 2 times Cuba, 1 time Canada only, and 1 time our ODX is KP4. Overall, there's 26 Rover stations. I found the logs on the CQ Worldwide VHF Contest website. They don't have a claim score on, so I just looked up at 3830, and from those 26 Rover stations in the US, only 13 posted into 3830. And there's no dedicated low power and high power class. We've been low power, of course, but we have to compete with the high power Rover stations. And you see this 341,000 points, and we ended up with roughly about 20,000. But we still had fun. we rovered two QDHs, two grid squares, and all those stations here, they rovered 4, I think, I'm not sure, K2 Echo Zulu, I think he rovered 15 grid squares. He started in New York and ends up into Wisconsin. He even did digital by FT4, FT8 while he was driving. So awesome. Yeah, well, that was our weekend on VHF. I hope you got a little bit inspired. You can easily hand out points to those stations or doing the contest a little bit more seriously. Just go on the bands. If you don't have dedicated antenna, it's easy to build. So you can build a ground plane out of a piece of wire or any rod you have. Take your internal tuner. If you have a 40-meter antenna, you can maybe tune it on 6 meters with an internal tuner from your radio. Almost everybody has a 2-meter ground plane installed, so even if you have the wrong polarization on 2 meters, because all the DX QSOs are done horizontally, but if you have the ground plane and the station is not far away, you still can give him a contact, and he's happy to get one more QSO into the lock. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to get you in the lock next time.